Right on. Well, I am extremely excited today to have two of my favorite people in all of San Diego get a chance to let the rest of San Diego know about you two. First of all, I just want to say you both look extremely beautiful.
Thank you.
That is a mark of true leadership. Is that during catastrophic times you have the ability to hold yourselves together, and so I just want to say thank you for that. You know what I mean? So we have two very, very special people here today that I would love to have you introduce yourselves for the two or three people in all of San Diego that don't know who you are, council member. Could you please introduce yourself to those couple of people that may not know you?
Hello, everyone. There are plenty of people that don't know me, so
But
I
not
will
today.
introduce myself. I'm Councilmember Montgomery, representing District 4 in the city of San Diego, and glad to be with you, Jason and Layla.
Super glad to have you, council member. Thank you for taking this time to do this. And then for the few people that may not know you, the illustrious Layla Aziz, could you take a second and let the people know about who you are?
Thank you, sir. I hope I live up to your compliments. My goodness. Layla Aziz, I am a board member for the Jacobs Center for Nonprofit Innovation.
Amen. That's good. Good stuff. I almost said amen like we were in church. I forgot. My name is Jason, and I'm a firefighter with Local 145, San Diego Firefighters, proud member for 20 years. And typically what happens, and just so people kind of know what we're doing right now, typically the firefighters are the ones that get a lot of praise and get, people thank us for the work that we do and stuff, which is really not why we do what we do. And there's sometimes, with the exception of, going out into the community and serving, we serve 365 days a year, no matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's a pandemic. It doesn't matter what it is. We are, 911 is still available and people still call. And so I just want to say publicly, thank you to every one of the San Diego firefighters, members of Local 145 that are out here every single day, 365 days a year, doing the work to keep San Diegans safe. Thank you all for doing that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure I could speak for you too. But what we're doing here as a way for us to give back tangibly is we have a community responsibility fund that we all donate money from our paychecks, and it goes into different communities to help with certain things. And what we've decided, the firefighters decided to do now, and thanks to our president, Jesse Connor, and the rest of the board members, put this idea together that came from the firefighters, put it together, and we're calling it 19 Days of Supporting COVID-19 Project. We're giving $3,000 a day away to different organizations for 19 days, totaling $57,000. And this is money that comes from our paycheck. This is money that the firefighters have donated. And so today we have an opportunity to see where some of our funds are going to. And so I want to ask you, Layla, as a member of the Jacobs Center board, can you tell us a little bit about the Southeastern San Diego COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund?
The COVID Rapid Response Fund, to me, is an example of some of the work and how residents in Southeastern San Diego and San Diego period have stepped up during this pandemic. So what happened was, of course, there are a lot of people without work. There are a lot of people who can't send their children to school now. There are a lot of people who don't have access for online learning. There are seniors who can't get to stores. And this fund is to rapidly get these people services as we wait for the bigger funding to come through the pipeline. And so some of the things you've seen is this Saturday, 300 people received a mask, which is now we're told to wear masks when we're in public, and food. And most of these people were seniors. And that was from one of the organizations who did receive funding through this COVID rapid response. The people that we have, that I've seen who are going to be funded or have already been funded, are serving seniors. They're serving youth. As far as with extracurricular activities such as science enrichment. They're serving people returning from jail and prison to make sure people coming home have access and we don't have any public safety risk. They're serving victims of violence who are very close in their network, and they're able to get food and clothing and different things of that nature. This Rapid Response Fund is funding anyone in our community, any gap, so that we can make sure that everyone is taken care of. We have some people serving people with disabilities, people serving people with substance abuse issues, everyone. And this speaks to Councilmember Montgomery's, her leadership in ensuring that no one is left behind. And I also want to thank the Jacobs family who contributed the first $25,000 to this fund. And I really want to thank the firefighters for keeping it going.
Wow. Wow. That actually sounds really amazing. And you know, as I look around and I'm paying attention to the different organizations that are being given to through the council districts, and really, again, shout out to all the council members, that the ones that have participated, that are looking out for different organizations in their council districts. I noticed there's just a large difference in the way each community is funding and what kinds of things are being funded as a result of COVID-19, some of the disparities that have happened regardless of where you live. And so thank you for doing that. Councilmember Montgomery, one of the things that I just want to say before you talk about how the fund has helped Southeast, I just want to, you know, something that's been on my heart. You know, your leadership has been exemplary since day one. As I concur with everything that Layla just said. I just second that wholeheartedly. And if I could, I just wanted to take a second and mention your staff, each one of your staff members by name, because, and I just want to do that. So your Chief of Staff, Henry Foster, Deputy Chief of Staff, Max Ellerin, Office Manager and Scheduler, Stephanie Sanchez, Bruce Williams, who's the District Ombudsman and Policy Advisor, Chloe Triplett, who's the Public Safety and Livable Neighborhoods Community Consultant, Perry Story, Community Director, and then Eric Hansen, who's a Policy Advisor, Karen Marta Federico, who's a Council Representative, and Tiffany Harrison, who's a Council Representative. A lot of these things wouldn't even be possible had it not been for the people that are behind the scenes, especially during this. So thank you to you and to your staff. If you could just give the people, like, why did you choose this particular fund? Why did you choose this to donate your money to?
First of all, Jason, thank you so much for mentioning my staff and highlighting how hard they are working.
Sure.
As well. That is something, like you said, we don't always see. And then I really just want to take the time to thank all those that are on the front lines right now during this crisis. All of our public safety officers, our lifeguards, our police officers, our firefighters, our healthcare workers, our grocery store clerks, the folks that do delivery for us, just everyone that doesn't really have a choice to stay at home and work, and are, potentially exposing themselves because they have to continue to work. So I want to say that, and just one more thank you specifically to Local 145, because you all are in the line of fire, literally and figuratively, every single day. And you still took it upon yourselves as a board and as an organization to say, we still want to give back to our community, even though you're making that sacrifice for us every single day. So I do want to really, really thank you all for that. We picked this fund when I heard that it came out of the brain of Layla Aziz. I was sold at that point. But it really is a good idea because we deal with disparity daily, right? We deal with that, but this has widened the gap even more. And what we find is we are a service community. So we have a lot of nonprofits that are serving people every day. A lot of folks outside of the community have never even heard of, but they're doing more work than some that we hear of every day. And so this fund, it was really a no-brainer for us. I think the funds were matched by the San Diego Foundation that the Jacobs originally put up. So the opportunity to leverage these funds and to have this money for rapid response go kind of into one pot so that we can get that money out to the organizations that need it most, that are really doing the work for those of us who are most in need right now. Really, it was a no-brainer.
Wow, it's amazing. Something you said that speaks volumes for your leadership style that I think is really indicative of the community's ability to still function. And it's a collectivist mindset, right? It's a depend on the boots on the ground, indigenous people that are in the district making the work happen. And you have taken your power and share the power with the people. And it's no wonder why you are named the People's Councilman. This is just another indication of why that is so appropriate for you to be named that. Your leadership is impeccable. One of the things that I'd like to say, what I'd like to again ask you, Layla, you know, how. So you're the one that came up with this fund, or you named it, or are you responsible for the fund per se? And if so, and if not, how does a fund like this make such a difference in D4? Why was this style of funding something that made sense to you and the Jacobs Center to help during this crisis?
I made a suggestion, and it was only a suggestion because I spend a lot of time on social media, and I saw a lot of smaller organizations who were doing a lot of the work as we waited for other things to come down the pipeline. I have to say that this work would have never come to fruition if it wasn't for Reginald Jones, the CEO, executive director of Jacobs, and of course, Monica Montgomery, who actually put her staff there to help make this a rapid response fund and to get it streamlined. Without people working together, this wouldn't have happened. When this initially happened, I saw mutual aid organizations pop up, collectives and collaborations of groups of people who are using all safety protocols and delivering groceries, basic things like this. And just to say, let's support what you're doing. Let's keep you going. Let's make sure that everyone is taken care of. It just warms my heart to see the impact that's been made and the people and the applications that are still coming in of people who are doing great work. And we tend to know that great work because we're in that community. We're in this community. We live, work, and play in this community. And I'm just astonished and I'm proud of Southeastern San Diego. And I'm proud to be, I couldn't live anywhere else. And I believe personally, and I know she gets tired of us always saying she's the people's council member, because no one else could have done something like this and seen impact like this and ensured that this impact was there. So I'm just honored, and I know we're going to get through this. I know my kids are going to be safe.
Yes.
I know my grandmother, who's 91, is going to be safe because of people like you guys doing the work that you're doing.
Wow. I mean, we could almost kind of close the interview right there, but I'm not, because I got one more question. Just excellent points, Layla. Thank you for doing that. If I could just kind of ask, this has changed a lot of the way that leadership is done, right? I mean, look, we're doing a video conference call right now. Everybody has had to change everything. I mean, I don't care who you are, no matter how you are socioeconomically, influence and status in life, everybody has been affected by this. And so one of the things that I want to ask a two-part question, if you will, to you, council member, and then we'll wrap it up. Being that we've had to make the changes that we've had to make, how has that changed kind of your day-to-day operations with your staff? And then what are you all doing currently? What kinds of things has your office been doing to help the community during this pandemic?
Yeah, so good question. We no longer meet in person. Well, we're not meeting in person right now. So everything that we do is based on video conference or teleconference. I am driven by the energy of people. So this is definitely an adjustment for me. And the weekend before we went into this, stay in place or shelter in place, I was at probably 10 events that weekend, probably over 1,000 people that I was around. And it's disheartening to know that now that's sort of scary, and so life is really going to change. I don't think it'll ever get back to normal. I think we'll be able to be around each other, but it will be different. And so that is something that I'm constantly thinking about. And it's something that impacts my work, even though we have to continue on. I'm having weekly updates with our public safety team to know what's going on out there. We have a lot of issues still. Like I said, we already experienced disparity. This widens the gap even more. It makes people more understanding because folks woke up one morning and didn't have a job, you know. But we have to remember that there are a lot of people that are consistently going through that in our society. So I'm hopeful that we come out of that with that understanding. My staff are still volunteering, food drives. Just yesterday, Bruce was able to provide sandbags for one of our elderly constituents. So we're just still doing the work. We're still doing the get it done, trying to get, keep everything up to par so that we all continue to experience that quality of life. I'm sticking to a lot of the things on the docket. We are meeting once a week for council. There are still disparities in what's coming forward with regard to some of our streets and just that everyday city business. I have to keep up with that, but just doing the best we can. It's new, it's a new day, but we still have to move forward. We still have to try. We cannot give up. There is assistance out there. The most important thing is the last thing I'll say. The most important thing to me during this time is not just to say what we're doing, but to make myself and my staff available. We have our emergency communication protocol. You can call us, email us. We will respond in 24 hours because with all these programs out here, there's still red tape and there's still misunderstanding. And we want to try to make sure that folks don't give up, that we help each other. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. As we close, Layla, do you have any other things that you'd like to say about the fund? Maybe how can people access the fund? And then any closing statements before we let you two get back to your busy days.
First and foremost, we will make it through this.
Yep.
Our family's intact, healthy. This is one of the scariest things that has happened in my lifetime. Second, there is on JCNI's website, and if you guys can put that up there, I'm sorry, I don't know it by heart, but there is the application. And if you happen to be a funder, please think of the JCNI Rapid Response Fund or the Southeast COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund. None of this money is no administrative fees, no money is being kept. It's a straight pass-through directly to the people doing the work. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's great. Good to hear. Really simple. So we'll put the website up and all that information so people will be able to get it.
Jason, just if anyone, email us, Monica Montgomery at sandiego.gov, and we'll provide you the information.
Okay. And I'll let you close us out, council member. Any final words from you about the fund and or something else that you'd like to close with?
I just want to say thank you again to Local 145 for going above and beyond what you're already doing for us. This really, really means a lot. Public safety, my top issue and concern. And the firefighters are always so gracious in every aspect of how we relate to you all and what, how we have to work together. So I just really, truly want to say thank you. Thank you to Layla for being a consistent advocate for our community, never changing, and just always putting other people first. So I love y'all. Thank you.
Wow. Very, very good. We really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this during this time. Thank you so much, Councilmember Montgomery from Council District 4, the People's Council Member, and Layla Aziz from the Jacobs Center, and for representing the Southeastern San Diego COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund. Thank you both for everything that you do. And I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the community and all the small businesses that are going to be helped by this fund. Thank you both. And the love that you have for the community is incredible. So on behalf of Local 145, San Diego Firefighters, I just want to say thank you for the work that you all are doing in the community. And we promise to keep doing whatever we do 365 days a year. You can count on that. So join us tomorrow for another organization that'll be highlighted. Until then, we'll see you.